the Rockets off to a sizzling 5-1 start. Yao Ming has been a rock in the middle, while Tracy McGrady is third in the NBA in scoring. Tonight, the Rockets face the Charlotte Bobcats, led by Bel Air High School star Emeka Okafor. Rockets basketball is next on My 20. From the Charlotte Bobcat Arena, My 20 presents Rockets basketball. And tonight, the Rockets taking on the Charlotte Bobcats. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us as the Rockets begin a short two-game road trip playing here in Charlotte tonight and Tuesday night in Memphis against the Grizzlies. The Rockets off to a good start at 5-1. Charlotte is 3-2. A good road test for the Houston Rockets coming in here tonight. Going to be a tough physical game, Matt Bullard, because these two teams are high in the rebounding statistics.
Yeah, both teams really dominate inside. The Rockets have Yao Ming and the Bobcats have Emeka Okafor. These two guys dominate inside. Now, they won't be guarding each other, but if you take a look at Yao Ming, he has been a bear inside. Yeah, I like the way he's been attacking the glass. He's staying with the ball. You can see his base is so strong that guys can't push him away from that basket. And his teammates have been finding him inside with easy passes, but Yao's relentless attacking of the rim has really bode him well here at the start of this season. Now, Emeka Okafor, same type of player as Yao, very physical inside, but they won't guard each other because Emeka plays the power forward spot, but he is a bull in a china shop inside.
Bonzi Wells, at 31 years of age, has resurrected his career, especially with the last two games.
Bonzi's been great, and this is the kind of play that we've expected from Bonzi since he came to the Rockets last season, but he is so clever around that hoop. His teammates have been finding him with good passes. He's got a great post-up game, but he's so slippery around the basket. Very clever with those moves, can find the space on the offensive glass and also on the defensive boards. He's been rebounding the ball great off the bench for the Rockets. That is a big burst for the Rockets off the bench.
Let's check out the Toyota keys to the game.
Key number one, you got to rebound. The Bobcats shoot a very poor percentage, but they lead the league in offensive rebounds, so the Rockets are going to have to box them out. Key number two, a second quarter jump. The Rockets bench, which includes Bonzi Wells and Mike James, is much better than the Bobcats bench, so look for the second quarter to be a big quarter for the Rockets. Key number three, no lapses. You got to finish this game.
Well, the Houston Rockets want to get off to a good start and keep it going to begin this road trip. We'll be back with the tip-off in Charlotte in just a moment on My 20. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the Charlotte Bobcat Arena as we get tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Houston Rockets, they'll send out Shane Battier, Chuck Hayes, Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady, and Rafer Alston. For the Bobcats of Charlotte, a very young team with Gerald Wallace, Emeka Okafor, Primo Bresic, Jason Richardson, and Raymond Felton. Again, as in most games in the NBA, we've got Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming, Emeka Okafor. Rockets going for their 6th win of the young season. We'll be back with more in just a moment on My 20. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to Charlotte as we get ready for tonight's NBA game. Tonight's Geico quote comes from Rick Adelman on this being a trap game. The Bobcats can just attack you at any time. It's a game we really have to be ready to play. Just control the tempo. That's what we have to do, control the tempo.
And the Bobcats in their last game against the Indiana Pacers went on a 20-2 run in the fourth quarter to win that game. So that's what Coach is talking about, that this Bobcats team can explode and put some points up in a hurry.
Rick is very happy with the 5-1 record the Rockets have, still installing parts of his offense as he goes along. He has won, as you see, 61% of his games in his 17 or 16 plus years in the NBA. The young coach he's going against tonight is Sam Vincent. Sam played at Michigan State, where he was an All-American, was drafted #1 by the Boston Celtics, won a championship with Boston in his rookie campaign, played for 7 years in the NBA, and then he went on a journey of sorts to South Africa and to Nigeria, where he coached their national teams, came back to coach as an assistant at Dallas last year, and then Bernie Bickerstaff hired him as the head coach this year.
Boy, when you have a lot of experience, especially worldwide experience like Coach Vincent, that can only help you in the NBA.
Well, he's got a lot of brain power, doesn't he? Starts with Michael Jordan, who is at the top, and then Bernie Bickerstaff, and Michael has put all of his players in place. Sam Vincent's got to run the show now as the Houston Rockets going against Charlotte. Charlotte, Sean May went out before the season even started. He's had knee problems his entire career here. Adam Morrison, last year's rookie for Charlotte, had tore his ACL in the preseason. And Othello Harrington, the veteran who played some in Houston, had left knee surgery. He's still about a week away. So it's on the broad shoulders of Emeka Okafor.
Yeah, really the Bobcats are what they call the Big Four. They've got Gerald Wallace, Okafor, Jason Richardson, and Raymond Felton are their best 4 players. And those are the 4 guys the Rockets are going to have to concentrate on tonight.
I think they were tired of drafting rookies in the first round. They went and got Richardson, traded Brandon Wright, who they had drafted to Golden State. Yao won the tip. He has lost the tip for all the other games this year.
That's just one of those stats that you come up with, Bill, that I have no idea where you find those at.
There's a miss, and getting it outside is Battier. Well, I can only hope that we get a little better shooting from the point guard position. They doubled Yao early. Let's see how they do now. They got Yao and McGrady together. That leaves McGrady one-on-one with Richardson, and he missed. Raymond Felton, a couple of years in the NBA, drafted #1 with Sean May out of North Carolina 2 years ago. Jason Richardson, we know what he can do. We've seen it before. Alston will set up the offense for Houston.
Now for the first 2 possessions, the Rockets have gone to the post with T-Mac.
Knocked out of bounds by Charlotte.
So you see the Rockets are trying to get T-Mac going early, and they're also trying to put pressure on Jason Richardson to see if he can play defense on T-Mac. Take a look at this replay. T-Mac looks like, well, a little contact on the ball there, but 10 seconds left on the shot clock for the Rockets here on this inbounds play.
Yao sets that pick for Rafer Alston. Rafer turns the corner, has it blocked out of bounds, and Rafer knocked it out of bounds. So Rafer with a missed shot and a turnover here early.
The Bobcats already are lost in their offensive set, don't know what they want to start running.
Well, if you make a shot, you usually get unlost. You get found.
Well, that's the only way you can fix a broken play is just by making a jump shot. Raymond Felton can do that.
Chuck Hayes takes it inside, jumps it up short.
Rockets 0 for 4 now from the field. Not a good start.
Richardson missed the dunk shot.
Chuck Hayes with the block shot.
Turnover. Felton giving it up inside to Wallace for 2.
You can't take this Bobcats team lightly. You've got to come out and start this game playing intense basketball. And the Rockets now 0 for 5 from the field. Not a good start at all.
Shane Battier with a miss. He's shooting over 40% from the three-point line, but even he missed that shot. And a steal by Chuck Hayes. McGrady quickly to Yao.
Got pushed.
Got pushed from behind. Zach Zarba was never looking. Zarba, McCutcheon, and Forte, the officials. Joe Forte, Monty McCutcheon, Zach Zarba officiating tonight's game. Gerald Wallace with the miss. Tried to shoot it over Yao. That's hard to do.
Now what you want to do is you want to settle down and get the ball inside to Yao. Get a good shot on this possession.
Traveling called on Yao Ming. Wow.
I think that's the right call. Yao did shuffle his left foot, which was his pivot foot. Just take a look at this. Now watch his foot. That's his left foot. See, as soon as he makes his move, see how he split his feet before he put the ball down? That's a good call.
Gerald Wallace, run a little pick for Richardson, taking it inside Okafor. Yao cut him off at the pass. Richardson with a three, and he missed it. Rebound to Yao. Yao averaging a double-double on the season.
See, the Rockets bench is still standing.
Blocked. McGrady gets it back, takes it right back to the basket. Okafor, one of the leaders in block shots, and
wow, Okafor was way at the top of that mountain to block that dunk by T-Mac.
Yeah, but T-Mac stayed after it and got the two. Okafor will work on Chuck Hayes. Jump hooks it up too long, and Yao with a rebound. Yao averaging just under 11 rebounds a game. Chuck Hayes, reversal, got it.
Chuck's so clever around that basket. Well, he knows he's not tall enough to go up against Okafor, but he's got those little ball fakes.
Well, Okafor is really concentrating on Yao Ming. That no one has guarded Chuck yet, so he's just going to the open spot. Felton trying to draw a foul. It's not there.
He tried to dribble into 3 different Rockets trying to get a call.
I know. Game tied at 4, even though the Rockets not shooting it very well. They have tied it at 4. Yao on the post to McGrady. McGrady just inside the three-point line. Rushed that shot up a little bit. And Gerald Wallace, maybe one of the best pure athletes in the NBA, Gerald Wallace. He can fly. Wallace inside for 2.
Gerald Wallace.
Well, you talked about what a great athlete he is. He can play it on both ends of the court.
Brezich backing off of Yao Ming inside to McGrady. Backdoor cut by Tracy McGrady. Yao found him. Raymond Felton will run the offense. 6.5 minutes left. First period. Brezich misses. Quickly up ahead. Rafer Alston. McGrady. Too hard. And Felton ends up with a basketball. Wide open. Jason Richardson.
The Rockets have got to do a better job defending that little pick and roll. You can't let Jason Richardson come off and have that much space to shoot a jumper.
Richardson, in his 7th year out of Michigan State, was a star with the Golden State Warriors for all of his career until that trade in the NBA draft. Yao turns it over. Wallace gets it back outside to Richardson. Misses. Yao with a rebound. Yao, jump hooks. Got it. What a nice touch.
Oh, man, that is such a soft shot. That jump hook is so pretty. When you can get it to bounce around on the rim like that, that's excellent touch.
8 points. 8 and 8. Wallace lost that ball on the way up. That's why no whistle was called, and it's kicked over with 6 on the shot clock. Both teams a little shaky from outside of the paint area.
And neither team has really established anything. This game has been back and forth, but neither team really going to their strengths or getting anything going.
Okafor trying to guard McGrady, and Okafor with the foul, and McGrady will shoot a couple. 4:41 left to play in the first quarter. And Yao Ming getting the Rockets off to a good rebounding start with 3. Game tied at 8.
What a great experience it is to go to Toyota Center and watch the Rockets play.
It's electric right now. It should be all season long the way the Rockets are playing, but all the games have been exciting.
Well, the firepower that the Rockets have a great starting five, and then when you go to the bench, it just gets better and better. We see Luis Scola in the game now, the first player off the Rockets bench, and he has yet to really have a breakout game, but he is going to be an excellent player for this Rockets team, and it's just a matter of time before he really gets it rolling.
Tracy McGrady at the free throw line. His first free throws, he's 2 for 7 from the field. So T-Mac came into this game shooting as well as he has shot the ball in a long time. McGrady 45% from the field and 80% from the free throw line. He's been off on everything he's shot up there.
Well, both teams are shooting poorly. Both teams are 4 for 13 from the field. There's been a lot of rebounds to be had. The Rockets out rebounding the Bobcats right now 11-5.
Rockets came into this game #1 in total rebounding percentage in the NBA. Okafor to the basket with a beautiful move. He just didn't finish it off. Tipped outside. Back to Okafor. 24 on the shot clock. Another miss. Boxing out by Chuck Hayes. But good hustle by the Bobcats.
Chuck Hayes is doing everything he can to keep Okafor off the glass, but he needs some help from his teammates to secure that rebound.
Raymond Felton back outside. Jason Richardson takes it into Okafor again. Boy, he just backed into Battier and bumped him off a couple of feet.
This is an interesting lineup for the Rockets. Chuck Hayes, Shane Battier, and Scola all on the court at the same time. Very athletic five out there for the Rockets now. Let's see if they can get something going in the fast break.
Ryan Hollins is matched up with Scola. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Battier to the basket, off the glass, missed it. And the Bobcats throw it away.
Go ahead, Bill.
No.
A pretty ugly game so far. Neither team shooting well. Rockets with 4 turnovers so far. That turnover was a bad turnover for the Bobcats. I'm very surprised. The Rockets knew that this game was going to kind of be a trap game, and they knew they were going to have to come out and be very sharp to start this game.
Rockets only shooting 28%, 4 of 14 for the Rockets. Jeff McGinnis is checked in. He's picked up McGrady. McGrady will shoot it over McGinnis. He likes that. McGinnis is more his size.
Yeah, well, McGinnis is about 6'3". T-Mac's got a few inches on him. That's the time when T-Mac just raises up and shoots that jump shot.
McGinnis, a veteran here in the NBA. Matt Carroll gives it up. Wallace stolen. Chuck Hayes. Rafer Alston misses. And he gets it right back. Chuck Hayes tips it outside. McGrady is finding the range now. Took him a little while, and T-Mac for a 3.
Pretty good fast break there by the Rockets. Even though Rafer missed that jump shot, it was a good shot. And then the offensive rebound, take advantage of the second chance points.
McGinnis with an extra pass, and Felton hits a 3. Raymond Felton came into this game shooting 55% behind the three-point line.
Yeah, he's had an excellent start to his season.
McGrady misses. Wallace with the rebound.
2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Under 2 minutes left to play in the first period.
Hey, come switch out.
Matt Carroll, Notre Dame product. Ryan Hollins to the basket. Nice move. He just did not make the shot. 14-13 Rockets, low scoring game. Luis Scola, 16-footer. Jeff McGinnis, a veteran of 9 seasons in the NBA with 5 different teams. 1:15, 1:14 left to play, 7 on the shot clock. Felton from way downtown. Hayes with a rebound, and the Rockets will bring it up, leading by a point. T-Mac has scored 8 of the Rockets' 14 points. Under a minute left to play. Timeout.
Score.
14-13 Houston. Bull, what's cooking?
Well, we're going to watch Tracy McGrady. He's got the ball here. He's going to give the ball to Yao on the high post. So let him throw the ball into Yao there. Now stop it here. We've got a triangle here with these 3 players. This is Rafer over here in the corner. Now T-Mac is going to go set a pick for Rafer. Rafer's going to come off, but I want you to watch T-Mac. Let T-Mac set the pick. Now stop it right here. Watch T-Mac. He's looking at Yao. Yao's got a good angle to pass. Now T-Mac's going to cut back door. Great pass from Yao. T-Mac with an easy finish. That's Rick Adelman's offense at its best right there. T-Mac's got 10 of the Rockets' 14 points right now.
Yeah, there's nobody underneath, is there? They've got that middle cleared out.
All that space, and you saw T-Mac and Yao just had the eye contact. Yao made a good pass, and that's easy basketball right there.
Yao has hit his only shot of the game. So McGrady with 10, 2 for Hayes and 2 for Yao Ming. Mike James has checked into the game along with Bonzi Wells. A little better offensive team here. And now Bonzi tried to get it into Yao, but they had a good hold on him. Jeff McGinnis matched up with Mike James. Scola comes out. Jason Richardson now on the switch, has Scola on the isolation, will shoot it over Luis for 2.
Jason Richardson.
That's pretty good defense by Scola on that mismatch. You don't want Jason Richardson to drive in and get another one of your big men in foul trouble, so you just force him to shoot that jumper over a hand. So the Bobcats are fronting Yao, very aggressively fronting him, and that's going to be difficult to get him the ball.
Can't do it. 4 seconds. Down to 3. Down to 2. Boy, they bail the Rockets out there.
And T-Mac drains a left-handed 3 after the whistle.
So we're going to have 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Houston ball.
Down to 5, down to 4. Bonzi Wells with a runner off the glass. Luis Scola did not get it off in time. So really a very badly played first quarter by both teams offensively. If you're a defensive purist, you like this one, and so do those fans. They like Yao. The Bobcats up by a point on my 20. Well, some fans think Yao's pretty great too here in Charlotte. He's got fans everywhere as the Rockets trail by a point. As we get ready for the second quarter, and you thought this would be important, you put it in your Toyota keys to the game.
Yeah, this is my second key to the game, is get a good second quarter jump now with Mike James and Bonzi Wells on the court off the bench for the Rockets. They're both very effective scorers, and the Rockets are going to need their scoring now.
Richardson and Carroll, good shooters in the backcourt. Jared Dudley out front as Richardson misses. Hollins gets it right back. Dudley with an extra pass to McGinnis. Good ball movement as Richardson ends up with it again, and Scola with a rebound.
Scola is really good at pulling down those tough rebounds in traffic.
And a foul. You know, it's interesting. The starting center can get away with pushing Yao a lot, but when they come off the bench with what appears to be a lesser player, the referees protect him. Now, how's that?
I don't know. It should be the same calls all the time, but Yao has gotten a lot better at positioning himself to get those passes. Bobcats are doing everything they can to keep him off that post.
Bonzi inside for 2. Nice pass from Yao Ming.
Bonzi is so good around that basket. He's quick and he's strong. That combination right there is very difficult to stop.
Seven on the shot clock. Jeff McGinnis short. Gets it back.
Well, My first key was rebounding. Neither team is shooting the ball well, so the Rockets have got to box out and finish the defense with the rebound.
Ryan Hollins, Bonzi with a rebound. Running Yao Ming again. Luis Scola getting it to Yao. And Dudley comes around and ties him up. This happens time and time again to Yao. The weak side comes over when he brings that ball down, Matt. The weak side comes over and grabs it.
Yeah, see, Yao is one of those players. He doesn't have a great feel for what's going on behind him. He's better when he faces up, but he doesn't have that feel of what's going on behind him, so those guys can sneak in from the weak side and try to make those steals. If Yao were to keep the ball up high above his head, those players would be slapping him on the arms and it'd be a foul.
Jared Dudley at 6'7" will jump against Yao at 7'6".
Trying to get this all set up, yeah. Officials are trying to clean up the jump ball this year. They're trying to, that was one of their points of emphasis, is to make sure they get good tosses and make sure all the players are in the right spot.
Mike James forced one up. Richardson saves it to McGinnis. Oh. And the foul by Luther Head on Matt Carroll, who is a terrific shooter.
Foul number 2, Luther Head is first. Team first.
And Matt Carroll from Notre Dame, very hard worker, can shoot the ball very well. The Charlotte team really liked what they saw, signed him to a multi-year deal. If you can make shots, you'll find a place in this league to play.
Carroll came into this game, missed only one free throw, 90% free throw shooter. And Yao loses it again. Boy, if you buzz him a little bit, and there's Hollins beating Yao down the court.
Hollins
I think the best way that you can combat Yao is swarming smaller players.
Well, and Hollins is very athletic. He's very quick, so he's trying to get around front of Yao. Now, see Yao, he's behind him.
And that's a foul. That's beautiful. That time they double-teamed him, but he saw the pass play and the foul on McGinnis.
McGinnis is first. Team second.
So Brzic will check in now for Hollins.
Primo Brzic for Ryan Hollins.
So what Sam Vincent is wanting from his post players is just go out there for about 5 minutes, play as hard as you can. When you get tired, I'll bring the next guy in. And they're going to try to wear out Yao by throwing waves at him instead of trying to play him straight up all game.
Probably not a bad idea. Of course, what happens, he's such a smart player, Matt. He figures it out eventually and finishes the game strong.
The Rockets have struggled to get him the ball in the post, but the Rockets have several different ways to get him the ball, so look for the Rockets to get Yao out on the court a little bit more, maybe here in the second quarter.
McGinnis gives it back to Richardson now. Bonzi Wells right behind him. Richardson with a turnaround.
Jason Richardson.
Well, one thing Richardson has done in his 6 years is score. 20-plus a game. Bonzi wide open.
Good cut by Mike James that got Bonzi open on that play, but Bonzi's got to take that ball to the basket.
Richardson again. Turnaround, short. Bonzi with a rebound. Quickly to Yao on the run. Yao lays it up and in. Wow. Off the wrong foot.
Oh, how many 7'6" guys do you know can run the court, catch the ball in full speed, and shoot the layup off the wrong foot?
Well, Bonzi's seen it before. He wouldn't have trusted him with that pass.
That's unreal right there.
Matt Carroll with the basket. Carroll's in his 5th season, and he has really improved over the last couple of years. Mike James to Scola. Scola trying to save it. Another Houston turnover. McGinnis. Richardson. Biggest lead of the game now by the Bobcats.
The Bobcats have just been playing erratically, and they kind of got the Rockets flustered. The Rockets don't have a good rhythm to their game.
Yao hits from the outside.
I like that. See, the Rockets have been unable to get the ball to Yao on the post, so bring him out. Let him face up against his defender. Give him the ball, let him use that jump shot.
That gives him another problem.
How are you going to stop him?
Matt Carroll again. That wasn't bad defense. Luis Scola to Bonzi Wells. And a charge on Bonzi.
Timeout on the floor.
So we have a timeout on the court. 7:08 left to play in the second period. Rockets are running, but they're still trailing. (27-22). Charlotte, 7:08 left to play.
Well, T-Mac has been the only one doing anything for the Rockets. He's got 10 of the Rockets' 22 points. And that dunk right there was blocked, but I like the way he stayed with it. And then nice backdoor cut for T-Mac. The Rockets have been able to find him, and he's been able to shoot jump shots over their defense and then find him open for the three-pointer. But they've got to figure out a way to get Yao some more shots, get Bonzi involved, get Mike James some shots. The Bobcats have been playing very erratic basketball, and the Rockets haven't been able to find any identity here.
The second unit for the Bobcats is really the one that's gotten this lead, 5-point lead for Charlotte. Okafor back into the game. Basket counts and one. Foul on Luis Scola.
And Luis, watch him on this as he's trying to play position right here. There is some contact there. It's a good call by the official. And Luis, look on his face like, how is that a foul? Now, he is still trying to adjust to NBA basketball. Over in Europe, that would be a legal play.
Okafor with the basket, three-pointer, and it's a 15-6 run by Charlotte. Rockets really having problems scoring tonight. Scola tried to draw the foul, but he didn't make the basket. And he'll get 2 free throws.
And the Rockets come off the high pick and roll with Yao. A nice pass inside to Scola, who does a good job of pump faking and using his body. The Rockets have got to convert on some of those easy hoops around the basket.
Luis seemed still trying to adjust a little bit to the speed of this NBA game. And once he does, no one on the coaching staff seems to be too worried. Brezic will come out now. And Gerald Wallace is in the game. Wallace, Okafor, Felton. Luis gets both free throws. Bonzi's in there with James, Scola, Yao Ming, and Luther Head. 6-point lead by the Bobcats. Good hustle by Bonzi Wells. Mike James dribble drive, Yao Ming, and that's the penetration of Mike James making that play. And Yao has 8 points. McGrady with 10, that's 18 of Houston's 26. Jason Richardson inside. Yao may have made him change that shot. Mike James on the miss. Richardson back the other way. And a blocking foul is called on Luis Scola. Count the basket. So the Rockets trying to find somebody besides Yao Ming and T-Mac to score. 32-26 Bobcats. 32-26 Charlotte.
But Kobe had 45 against the Rockets in the opening game. The Rockets were able to win, and then T-Mac has the most points of any player in the league so far with 47. So here's the play right before the timeout. As Richardson comes in and Scola tries to take the charge. Scola, they said, was not set, and I agree with that, just not quite there in time. So Richardson will go to the line for an and one possibility, and Scola now has, what is that, 2 fouls?
Yeah. Maybe what he needs to do is try to just defend the play rather than try to get that charge. Sometimes you get there too late, and he will learn that.
You got to know when you can get in front, and Shane Battier is the best at it in the league of being able to get that position and draw the charge. And Chuck Hayes has learned how to do that, and Scola, you see, is trying to get that field, but just not quite quick enough yet to get to that spot. There's Shane right there. He's been sitting on the bench for quite a while now.
Yeah, we'll be going to Memphis tonight. Of course, that's where Shane started his first 5 seasons in the NBA. We're going to be staying at his hotel.
He's a part owner of the very nice new hotel there in Memphis.
Well, Richardson gets the 3-point play completed. Bonzi brings it into Mike James. McGrady's in with Yao Ming and Luther Head. And Richardson comes out, knocks it away from McGrady.
Now here's what the Bobcats are doing, Bill. They're just playing with more energy. They're being very aggressive. They're just playing at a very high speed. The Rockets have got to settle down. They've got to be more deliberate in their passes, and they've got to just let the Bobcats run themselves out.
Bonzi working it inside, short. Never even drew iron. Richardson throws it away. They attacked him a little bit. McGrady saying to Bonzi, go ahead and shoot that ball, man. You just kind of shoveled it up there, short-armed it. Very congested underneath. Mike James gets it to Yao. 3 on the shot clock. Down to 2. Knocked out of bounds. Nope.
Well, he just lost it.
That's 4 turnovers now by Yao Ming.
Yao's taken 4 shots, made all 4 of them, but he's also turned the ball over 4 times. As he turns, he just loses it out of bounds. Now he's got to concentrate. With all the young guys running around him at high speed, he's just got to settle down and concentrate.
Battier in the game. Eleven on the shot clock, down to 10. Richardson will shoot it over McGrady. Bad shot.
That's a terrible shot.
Well, that's what he'll do. He can either shoot you in or out of a game. Bonzi with a miss. Lead of the game, 9 points by the Bobcats. Brady to Yao. Now, McGrady let Carroll come over and affect him then. He needed to go right up with that basketball, didn't he, Matt?
Again, Yao's just got to be more deliberate with this ball. Nice job by T-Mac on the pick and roll of finding Yao with a good pass. He doesn't need to pump fake Matt Carroll. He just needs to put Matt Carroll in the basket with the ball.
That's right. If that had been Okafor, you might have wanted to pump fake him, but not Matt Carroll. And Hayes will come back into the game for Houston. Well, the Rockets have only 27 points.
That's usually how many the Rockets have at the end of the first quarter. These games on the road are you think, well, it's just the Bobcats. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Well, the Bobcats are scoring 107 points a game here at home. They're a much better team at home than they are on the road, and the Rockets have got to realize that each game in the NBA is going to be tough.
Foul is called on Yao Ming. That's his first, as Rafer Alston will check in for Mike James. Well, it's got to be more than the Yao Tracy show. I mean, they've got 10 apiece. They have 20 of the 28 points scored by the Rockets. Somebody else got to step up. 3:50 left.
Well, this Rockets team has way too much firepower to just be relying on 2 guys to score.
Yeah.
And especially the way they're playing Yao, the way they're fronting him. You've got to go to a counter move and get somebody else involved.
Out of bounds. Bobcats ball.
35% shooting by the Rockets in the first half.
Mike James out of the game. He did not score. Rafer Alston is back in. He has not scored.
Yeah.
Battier has not scored.
Wallace, baseline. Just too quick. Three and a half left to play in the first half. Brady sets up Yao. Yao working on Okafor. Yao to the middle. Turnaround. Yes. Yao Ming has not missed a shot. He's 5 for 5 with 12 points.
Well, the Rockets have figured out now on the side pick and roll that they can get Yao the ball. Let's see if they continue to milk that for the rest of this half.
Almost a steal by McGrady. Raymond Felton from the outside. And Battier with a rebound. Under 3 minutes left to play in the second quarter. T-Mac turns the corner, telegraphed the pass. Richardson.
See how the Bobcats are just capitalizing on every miscue by the Rockets.
Yeah, 10 turnovers by Houston, 14 points. Yao with a slam.
That's that side pick and roll again. The Rockets have found something that's working, and you see Sam Vincent calling a 20-second timeout to try to solve that play for the Rockets.
2:17 left to play. Rockets have some work to do.
And the Rockets are down by 8, but they have found something that's... Man, Tina Turner was loud there, wasn't she?
Never heard her any louder. Wallace almost lost the ball. Matt Carroll gets it down to Okafor. Okafor takes it to the middle over Yao. Yao with good defense.
2 minutes left.
Yao running the court. McGrady follows him. And another turnover.
Those Bobcats are just a lot of deflections for the Bobcats.
Well, Wallace dribbled the ball out of bounds.
Wallace is very athletic, but not a very good tightrope walker. He's over there on the base or on the sideline there, couldn't stay in bounds. But the Bobcats are getting a lot of deflections on the defense. They're getting on the. You see, he's right on the sideline, right there. Good call by the official.
McGrady working on Jason Richardson as Yao comes out to set the pick. And that's going to be a defensive 3-second violation on Charlotte.
Now, see, that's what Charlotte, that's the change that they made. In that side pick and roll, they're putting Wallace in the middle of the lane. He's trying to explain what he's trying to do there to the official. But Yao's going to shoot the technical free throw for defensive 3 seconds.
Yao with 14 of 14 from the line in the last game. That ties Coutinho Mobley and Don Kojas. That's the only other Rockets to go 14 of 14. Yao Ming is shooting 87% from the free throw line. Battier from the corner on the miss. Shane still looking for his first points of the game.
That's what the Bobcats have decided to give up, is that 3-point shot on the outside.
Felton misses. Nice hustle by Austin as he knocks it off the foot of Raymond Felton.
Houston ball.
So now Shane's got to be getting ready right now. If the Rockets are going to run that pick and roll again, he knows that the defense is going to commit to those two guys. Now, different play now for the Rockets.
Chuck Hayes, 3 seconds. Well, when Chuck dribbled and stayed in the lane, Yao tried to get out, but he'd been in there too long.
Out of bounds.
That's the wrinkle that the Rockets changed to the elbow pick and roll between T-Mac and Yao. And the Bobcats switched it, so Yao had a little guy on him.
Yeah,
got to take advantage of that.
Looked like it confused the Rockets more than it confused the Bobcats. Down to Richardson, gets a step, takes it inside, nowhere to go. Turnover. Rafer Alston will bring it up. Good defense by the Rockets on that possession. McGrady for three. Missed it. Rockets getting only one shot. It's a good rebounding team, Charlotte, led by Okafor, who had 23 rebounds in his last game by himself. Tried to shoot it over Yao Ming. That's not going to happen.
That's Okafor's weakness in his game, is he's not a polished offensive player. Very physical, great defender, great rebounder, but still needs to work on his offensive moves.
Yao with a turnaround. He's got some offensive moves. Yao Ming 7 of 7 from the field, 15 points. 1 second left. Richardson can't get it off in time. So the Houston Rockets shoot only 38% from the field and have an unusually large amount of turnovers at 12. And yet they trail by only 5. Stay with us for a feature on Dikembe Mutombo and the NBA's Basketball Without Borders program. The Lexus Halftime Report is next. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Lexus Halftime Report. In September, Dikembe Mutombo and Emeka Okafor went to Johannesburg with the NBA's Basketball Without Borders program. They spent time with kids from all over South Africa, teaching them about basketball and life.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
These kids are here, they're young, and they're willing to take constructive criticism. That's something that's hard for a lot of guys at their age, because as teenagers you feel like you know everything. But they come here with an open mind, understanding that they have a lot of room to grow, and that's what basketball is all about.
It doesn't only look at passing the skills and drills onto the player to become a good player, but also it's about character molding, also about social responsibility.
For them to be part of something with that NBA title and have actual NBA players and NBA coaches, it just brightens their basketball experience in general. It keeps them motivated, keeps them hungry, keeps them, wanting to play.
Rockets have to be lucky they're still in this game at the half, down by only 5 points. The Rockets Really the worst half they've had this season.
Yeah, the Rockets really struggled trying to figure out how to score, and really only T-Mac and Yao were the guys that put the ball in the basket. T-Mac had all 10 of his points in the first quarter. Great pass inside from Yao to T-Mac for the easy dunk, and then T-Mac hits a nice jumper over McGinnis. Wide open three, knocked that down. So T-Mac with 10 points in the first quarter. Yao Ming only had 2 points in the first quarter, but he gets it going in the second by the fast break. And then I like the way he steps out on the court to knock down this jump shot. Nice pass inside from Mike James. Yao Ming ended up with 17 points in the half on 7 for 7 shooting. So very effective, but the Rockets have still got to figure out a way to get him some more shots.
Well, they've combined Yao and T-Mac for 27 of Houston's 35 points. Somebody else needs to step it up. Charlotte up by 5 at the half. Let's check out the first half stats for you, and neither team shooting the ball particularly well. The Rockets have been averaging 48 points a half, so they've got some work to do here in the second half. The turnovers have really plagued Houston, and that's created 14 fast break points for the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, that's very uncharacteristic for the Rockets to turn the ball over that many times, and you see the Bobcats have really been able to capitalize on that.
Yao Ming is 7 of 7 from the field. He told me coming down the tunnel a moment ago, though, he had to do something about those turnovers. He said, I just can't hold on to the ball tonight. He's got 5 turnovers, and that has affected the Rockets somewhat. But offensively, he's right on the mark. McGrady has 10, and the Rockets bench with only 6 points. So the Rockets have got to get some scoring from Shane Battier, Rafer Alston, and Mike James.
Yeah, Bonzi Wells played almost 10 minutes in that first half and only got 2 points. So look for the Rockets to really try to turn things around here in the second half.
Doesn't take Gerald Wallace very long to shoot it. Right back the other way for Rafer. Now wants the basketball. Bresic right behind him and gave him a little air, and Yao is perfect. 8 of 8 from the field. Rick Adelman thought maybe Yao was fouled on that play.
Yeah, Rick Adelman saying, hey, the defender can't use both arms in Yao's back. Of course, they do that every single time.
Sure. Primo Bresic from the outside, and he answers.
He's got a primo jump shot.
Yeah, he's a good outside shooter. That hasn't been his problem, and there's a foul by Bresic.
Yeah, and you see Yao took a shot there on the hip. That's exactly what Rick Adelman was talking about to Joe Forte. This time Monty McCutcheon makes the call. Take a look at Yao trying to get down to his spot, and Primo just gives him a Primo elbow right there in the solar plexus.
You're going to have to, you never had any biology, did you?
Well, it was in the vicinity of the solar plexus.
Okay, thank you. You were just cleaning it up.
And another hand check foul on the Bobcats. You cannot touch an offensive player when he's faced up to the basket like Primo's touching Yao right now. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
And a quick foul whistle again on Felton as Raymond Felton got switched off on Shane Battier. So that's 3 quick fouls called on Charlotte within the first minute of the third quarter.
I'm sure Charlotte's thinking, hey, what's up with the quick whistle? We've been doing this all the first half.
That's right.
Why can't we do it in the second?
Battier's got Felton on him again, takes him down low, lost the ball. Wallace all the way to the basket, and he missed it. Chuck Hayes. Back to Alston. Battier goes down the baseline, and all kinds of traffic. And a foul on Battier.
Well, Shane knows better than that. You don't want to take the ball inside and then get caught up in the air with nothing to do. You see Shane goes baseline. He's either got to shoot this ball or pull up and shoot the jumper. Gerald Wallace stands in and takes the charge.
Of course, here in Charlotte, North Carolina, a lot of people from Duke, North Carolina State. It's a hotbed of basketball, college basketball. And it once was for Charlotte. There's a steal by Rafer Alston. And he lost the ball out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
It's been a hotbed, as I said, of basketball. And Charlotte was an original franchise many, many years ago, and this was a great franchise here.
Set attendance records for the first 3 or 4 years that they were a franchise, and that was when Rockets assistant coach T.R. Dunn was with the Hornets franchise, and that was a great time for NBA basketball in Charlotte.
Then they moved to New Orleans. There's Wallace with a 3, missed it, and Battier with a rebound. Then got to the expansion, another expansion franchise back here, and they're still growing. Community hasn't embraced them as well this time. Yao with a slam dunk and a foul, and McGrady with a beautiful assist. And Yao Ming will try to complete the 3-point play. Yao has 21 points, has not missed a shot.
Now here's that side pick and roll for the Rockets that was so effective in the first half. They run it on the other side of the court, and T-Mac with another great pass into Yao, and Yao puts Primo in the hoop with the basketball.
Well, look across. Yao's 9 for 9 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He has 5 rebounds, 22 points. Perfect.
Remember, in the first quarter, the Rockets really struggled to get Yao the ball, and they figured out to get him on the ball on the pick and roll.
Rafer Alston with a steal.
Good job by Rafer to come back in on the defense and help out and get that steal.
McGrady's got Felton on him now. Double team on T-Mac. That leaves Rafer open, and he hits a 3. Boy, Rafer, you've got to do that. So the Rockets with a 3-pointer from Rafer Alston. Houston on an 8-2 run. Sam Vincent calls a timeout, and the Rockets, down by 5 at the half, have a 1-point lead.
Well, the Rockets have taken a 1-point lead here in the second half, and they've done it by using the side pick and roll. Let's take a look at T-Mac as he comes into the side pick and roll situation with Yao. Let T-Mac bring it down in here and watch Yao come up and set this pick. Now stop it right here. Primo Brezic is Yao's defender. He's going to jump out and try to stop T-Mac. Now we got to watch the help defender as T-Mac comes in down the lane. Okafor's got to decide, is he going to go? Now stop right here. Is he going to? He leans towards Chuck Hayes. T-Mac makes the pass to Yao. Go and let it run. Yao finishes it with the dunk. Again, that side pick and roll, very, very effective for the Rockets.
Oh, man, how did Raymond Felton get that ball up and over Yao Ming? What a beautiful shot. Stops an 8-2 Houston run. Brady turns the corner back to Yao, sets him up for a 17-footer, and it's tipped up and in.
T-Mac follows up Yao's first miss.
And then Tracy with a steal. He's everywhere. McGrady dribbles to his spot, rims it out. 45-44 Houston. Joe Wallace on the perimeter, picked up by McGrady. They switched as Richardson now has Battier on him. Felton goes around to pick and hit. Raymond Felton. 9 points for Felton. McGrady shoots it over Wallace. Missed it. No ball movement anymore. Rockets have gotten away from it.
Last 2 shots have not been good shots. T-Mac got to take the ball to the basket.
Okafor goes for the dunk and a foul on Houston. And it's on Chuck Hayes. That is his second.
Nice pass inside to Okafor, and Chuck Hayes trying to get that block shot, but Omeka is one of those guys who can get way up there above the rim. That's how you take the ball to the basket strong. If you don't get the dunk, you're at least going to get 2 free throws out of it.
Before the season started, Charlotte offered Okafor. And I'm starting a story when you handed me this paper, so I will. Let's see, this is Monday at 7 on my 20. A masked magician,
not you,
will reveal how a 110,000-pound tank disappeared. It's called Breaking the Magician's Code 3 on my 20.
Don't you just hate when you go to see a magician and you don't know how they do it? Well, that show will tell you how they do it.
Yao lost the rebound, and Rafer picks it up. Rafer to the basket, back to Yao, lays it up and in. Beautiful move. Rafer Alston.
And that's what Rafer is good at. He's good at drawing the defense and dropping the ball off the Yao. Yao's having a heck of a game quietly with 24 points.
And a whistle and foul on Rafer Alston. I was saying just a moment ago, though, that Okafor was offered an extension to his contract at about $12 million a year, and he turned it down.
He did what?
Well, he said, thank you, but I'll wait. Now, you better hope you don't get injured.
Yeah, $12 million a year. That's wow. That's pretty stout.
McGinnis with a miss, and Yao with a rebound.
And the way the salary cap rules work in the NBA is the team that you're on can spend more money to keep you there. If you go free agent route, a lot of teams are over the cap and they won't have that kind of money.
Rafer missed the shot. Battier tips it back outside. Rockets get a fresh 24, and Yao is fouled by Okafor. Well, he may think that there's no chance for him to win a championship here, that he may want to seek a better team, a better management style, whatever. He's a very smart kid. Graduated from UConn in 3 years.
Yeah, finance major, so I'm sure that the money he's making now, he's able to invest that wisely. That's the only thing I can think of is that maybe he's not extremely happy here in Charlotte and may want to look for a different team.
And in the game for your Charlotte Bobcats.
He hasn't said that. That's just my guess.
Well, everybody who knows him, and of course, John Lucas said he was one of the smartest young men he's ever been around, and went to Bel Air High School with John. Well, Yao has missed one shot and nothing else. 26 points, 6 rebounds for Yao, and the Rockets lead by 2. Jason Richardson. Gerald Wallace. And the rebound to T-Mac.
Good defense by the Rockets, keeping Richardson from shooting it and forcing Wallace to shoot it.
McGrady to Yao. Yao gets it back and has it knocked out of his hands. He got the offensive rebound, but never had a chance to put it back up and in. This is the group that got the Bobcats the lead as Felton hits a 3. Now he's almost 55% behind the three-point line here early in the season. He is 8 for 13. That's not bad, is it?
Felton is feeling it.
Yes. And a 1-point lead by the Bobcats. McGrady rims it out. Battier gets it back, and he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Shane Battier with good hustle.
This is one of those games. It's a lot like your golf game, Bill. It's like a grinder type game.
You've seen me play.
The Rockets have just been kind of grinding it out. And Yao has been playing very, very well, shooting the ball well, and T-Mac has scored some points. But the Rockets have got to find another player or another 2 players that will give them a lift here in the second half.
Shane Battier still looking for his first point of the game as Luis Scola checks in for Yao Ming. So Yao goes out with 26 points, 6 rebounds. Battier, come on, Shane, get on the scoreboard. He can't do it.
That's very uncharacteristic for Shane. He's an excellent free throw shooter. Some nights you're just not going to shoot the ball well. That's when you need your teammates to pick you up.
Gerald Wallace trying to get a step on Hayes. He does, and he missed it. And the basket counts. Good hustle by Hollins. Ryan Hollins, a 7-footer from UCLA in his second season. He stayed with it, got the basket and the foul.
And when you're on the fringes of the NBA, this is how you keep your job. You go after the loose balls, you go up, you finish strong, you get excited, you play with energy. And that's how the Charlotte Bobcats team has been able to stay in this game and actually holding a lead, is they're just aggressive and playing with a lot of energy.
And Matt, actually the bench, the substitutes for Sam Vincent have really done a better job than the starters have as far as Charlotte is concerned. And now the Bobcats are on a 6-0 run.
And that's, you know, the Rockets have a very strong bench as well, but we haven't seen that tonight. And so the Bobcats bench has really been able to lift their team.
Grady back outside to Rayford. And he misses. Hayes tips it to himself. Fresh 24. Alston will shoot again. And he hits. Stay after it, Rayford. It's got to go in.
Well, he's 2 for 7 tonight. And remember last year he had stretches where he just did not shoot the ball well, and you could see he would get frustrated, but then he would find his rhythm again and go through stretches where he's a good shooter.
Bobcats up by a point. Now Carroll steps behind a Dudley pick. And Scola. Loose ball foul on Luis Scola.
Let's take a look at Scola going after this ball. There was a little push there from Luis. Scola with 3 fouls.
Raymond Felton starting to feel it now.
Felton felt it right there.
14 points for Felton, 14 for Jason Richardson to lead the way for the Bobcats. Bobcats up by 3. 3:52 left to play in the third quarter. McGrady going to his left. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Now see, that was a play where they gave the ball to T-Mac on the elbow and let him go one-on-one. With Yao out of the game, let's take a look at Yao or T-Mac trying to drive it in there. Watch the defenders just clog up the lane. There's no space for T-Mac to go. You know that pick and roll that the Rockets were so effective with Yao? Try that with Scola. Try that with Bonzi Wells.
Hayes will come out of the game. Bonzi will come in. Mike James will come into the game for Battier. So now this is a different look for Rick. He's going to go with Alston and James, McGrady, Scola, and Bonzi Wells. A small lineup.
I was watching Rayford as Mike James came to the bench, and Rayford, you could see kind of look on his face like, oh man, I'm coming out. And then he realized, hey, I'm staying in. So now he's excited again. 2 point guards on the floor for the Rockets.
T-Mac with 14 points and 6 rebounds, along with 4 assists. 1 point lead by the Bobcats. Jared Dudley.
That was a Dudley move there.
No flopping. Brady. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 4, down to 3. Rayford with a baby hook. And here come the Bobcats. Dudley, 3 seconds. He was camped out in there.
Timeout on the floor.
So we have a timeout charge to the Rockets. 2:56 left to play in the third period. Rayford Alston keeping the Rockets in the game. Charlotte leads it by 3. 2:56 left to play in the third quarter.
So the Rockets have been exposed a little bit here tonight by the Bobcats. The Rockets have been able to stay close in this game, but really nothing going extremely well for the Rockets. And I like the way Rick Adelman has been trying to find different combinations or try different plays, trying to find something that works. A lot of coaches will just beat something to death if it's not working, but Rick Adelman is continuing to try to find things in his playbook that will work.
Well, when Rick went small with the 2 guards, now they've come back with Okafor, so Vincent has gone big.
Well, and that's when you take advantage of it. Make them try to guard your quickness. There's that side pick and roll.
Luis Scola off the glass for 2. Beautiful. Mike James Scola.
It worked for T-Mac and Yao. It's going to continue to work for whoever runs it until the Bobcats figure out a different way to guard it.
McGinnis is picked up by Rayford Alston. And Carroll picked up by James outside. Now Scola will have to try to stop Okafor. Okafor to the middle with a jump hook, and it just won't go. Bonzi. All knocked out of bounds by Charlotte.
Out of bounds, Houston.
Okafor really struggles still offensively, doesn't he? He worked the summer with Hakeem a couple of summers ago. But you can't teach a guy how to shoot.
Yeah, you can't teach touch. And he's working really hard on his footwork and in his moves, but you still have to have that feel of shooting the basketball.
Brady misses. T-Mac struggling with his shot tonight. 5 of 16 for Tracy.
Yeah, he's only scored 4 points since the end of the first quarter.
Dudley, short.
T-Mac's 1 for 6 since the end of the first quarter from the field.
Mike James gets a step on Carroll, sets up Bonzi Wells in the corner, and he misses. You know, the Rockets really don't have any spot-up shooters on the floor, except for maybe McGrady, and he's not hitting. Well, Bonzi is not a spot-up shooter.
Yeah, Mike James is maybe your only spot-up shooter, and when Bonzi catches that ball in the corner, he needs to take it to the basket.
I'll tell you what Matt Carroll can do. He can spot-up shoot.
Cool. He reminds me a lot of Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah,
played for Minnesota, the mayor. Yep. Very similar type game as Freddie Hoiberg.
That's 11 points now for Carroll off the bench. And the same spot for Scola. The problem, fellas, you got to hit that shot. Rockets are 2 for their last 12. Dudley drops it down, and Bonzi with a foul.
You can run your offense to perfection, but if you can't shoot the ball, it just looks awful.
That's right.
Bonzi Wells is second.
So now Rafer comes out of the game. Yao Ming will come in. It'll be Yao, Bonzi, Scola,
goes to the line.
McGrady, and James. First time this combination's been on the court. .56 Bobcats, 48 seconds left. Battier will come in for Scola. Hollins gets them both.
Rockets can go 2 for 1 here. You want to get your shot off at about 36 seconds to make the 2 for 1 work.
Foul is called on Matt Carroll trying to guard Battier. Now both teams are in the penalty, so Shane again will have a chance to get his first points of the game. He's stuck on a goose egg.
And he missed 2 free throws earlier in the game. The Rockets offense has been getting them shots, the shots that they want, but they just haven't been able to knock them down.
Finally, Shane gets on the scorebook.
Shane Battier at the line to shoot 1 more.
Gets them both, and it's 62-58. 4-point lead, 36 seconds left in the third quarter. Carroll. Matt Carroll with another 3. What a shooter. Carroll, 14 points.
Isn't that, when you have a guy on your team that can shoot as well as Matt Carroll can, it just changes your whole outlook on the game. When guys can start knocking down threes, that just gives you a huge lift.
Inside to Yao for the slam with 4 seconds left. Quickly up the court come the Bobcats. McGinnis stolen by Mike James, and he does not get it off in time. It almost went in.
Good defense by Mike James.
Well, the Rockets do get 2 from Yao, but right before that, Matt Carroll gave the Bobcats 3. And here we go to the final 12 minutes. Charlotte 65, Houston 60. So the Bobcats still with that 5-point lead. They had it at the half. They lead at the end of 3. Right now they got to take care of business here on the road. Luther Head and Raymond Felton matched up outside, and Luther almost traveled with it before he got it to Battier. Steele. If the ball doesn't go to Yao Ming, the Rockets just can't seem to get a good shot, but they keep leaving Matt Carroll open, and that time he missed.
He shot that one pretty quickly. Now, Bill, Yao Ming is... Oh, goodness.
Man.
Yao Ming is 11 for 13 for 28 points. The rest of the Rockets, 10 for 42 for 22%.
Wow. Well, that's the game in a nutshell, as Okafor gets it to go down.
So at this point in the game, if the rest of your team is shooting 22%, just give the ball to Yao. Give it to him and let him go to work. He's the only guy that's got anything going in this game. And he's got to know that he's the man with of the hour, and he's got to take advantage of that and be aggressive and shoot it.
Well, Mike James has been in a shooting slump that goes back a couple of games. He's 0 for 4 tonight. He was 2 for 10 in the last game in Houston. Of course, Mike's always been a bit of a street shooter too, and when he is hot, he's red hot. Now the Rockets defense is giving them wide open looks, and Wallace hits. And it's a 9-point Charlotte lead. Bonzi on the drive. He's fouled out front. First team foul on Charlotte. So Jason Richardson now will check back into the game.
Rockets are still trying to get the ball into Yao, and he's having to fight with Okafor inside. Go back to that pick and roll that was so effective when T-Mac was running. You can run that with Mike James or Luther Head.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Luther Head rushes one up. Yao gets the rebound and the putback. There you go. Just missed one. Let Yao get the offensive rebound.
So Yao's 12 for 14. The rest of the team 10 for 44.
7-point lead by Charlotte. Raymond Felton with a jumper, in and out. Still plenty of time left in this game. 9:22.
Yeah, you don't want to get down right now. You've got to just continue to push ahead. I know it's an ugly game. The Rockets are not playing well, but you've got to get easy baskets like that.
Luther Head with the layup. Nice pass from Yao. They really run that probably as well as anybody on the team, and Sam Vincent calls a timeout. So the Rockets with back-to-back buckets. Still a 5-point lead by the Bobcats. (69-64) Charlotte. It's time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch, and a new season high for Yao Ming.
He's got 30 points already in this game. You see Okafor with 8 points and 10 rebounds. Pretty good battle going on inside, but thank goodness the Rockets have their big man hitting on all cylinders. Yao Ming 12 for 14, a season high 30 points. He can face up and shoot that jump shot, and then off this pick and roll, and one dunk over Primo. And the Rockets guards are just knowing where to find Yao and giving him some easy looks. Rockets, the whole team just needs to get on his shoulders and let the big man carry them to victory tonight.
Gerald Wallace will bring the ball up. He's got Jeff McGinnis in the backcourt along with Raymond Felton, Okafor, and Jason Richardson. Mike James will stay on McGinnis. Luther Head matched up with Felton. Bonzi and Wallace. Okafor sets a pick. Yao follows Wallace to the basket, and the whistle and a foul on the pass off. And it's The foul is on
Foul's called on
Bonzi Wells.
In this pick and roll, Yao gets switched onto Wallace, and Bonzi tries to help. You cannot swipe at the ball. Officials see your arm swiping, and they'll call it every time.
Each team with one team foul. 8:48 left to play. Gerald Wallace, air ball. Wow.
That's the weakness in his game, is he's not a good jump shooter. So that's what you give him when you're playing defense.
Now working on Okafor. Jason Richardson comes over to help out. That leaves Mike James wide open, and he hits a three. So the Rockets with 7 points in a row to close within 2.
Good job by Yao to recognize where the double team was coming from and find Mike James in the corner for an open look.
Richardson never went with Mike James. He just stayed with Yao Ming. Wallace taking it in on Yao. Okafor trying to jack it up, and standing under him was Gerald Wallace. He couldn't get up off the floor.
Well, Wallace has been on the floor all night long on both ends. And as he takes it in there and gets it blocked, good job by Yao to just go straight up and not get the foul call. But you see Wallace is just trying to get out of the way. No, don't get me. I've already got a Band-Aid on my leg. I don't want to have one on my forehead.
Okafor will shoot one more. Okafor not a good free throw shooter, never has been. 42% coming into this game. But he's 3 for 4 tonight. How about that?
And another double-double for Okafor.
Yeah, Emeka has 10 points, 11 rebounds. Mike James. Yao working on Okafor. And an offensive foul is called on Yao Ming.
The official says that Yao, when he spins baseline, he hooks him. Let's see. Watch Yao's right arm. Oh, that's pathetic.
That's a terrible call.
That's a pathetic call. That's a mistake. Officials are allowed to make them every now and then.
Well, make them the other way. You're going to make a bad call, make it for the Rockets. Mike James tips that ball. Felton still trying to get it back. And 3 seconds is called by Rick Adelman.
By Rick Adelman. Good job, Coach. He was yelling into Joe Forte's ear.
He was yelling so loud, Joe said finally he had to blow the whistle. He said, I got it. I got it. 71-67 Bobcats. Mike James looking to Yao. Okafor won't let him post up. Mike giving it up to Yao. Yao to Luther to Battier for a 3. Missed it. Bonzi tips it outside, but Raymond Felton has it. Quickly up ahead to Jason Richardson.
Okafor was open down the lane. Bobcats missed him.
Carroll back into the game now because he's had the hot hand. And giving it up to Jason Richardson with a miss, and Luther Head. We haven't seen Tracy McGrady, and I can only surmise those blisters have been acting up again on his foot. Remember, he had a little time off between games from workouts. Mike James, and a charge.
Rockets are continuing to try to find something that works, and here comes T-Mac checking back into the game.
Just as I said.
The one thing that has worked well for the Rockets is the T-Mac Yao pick and roll.
Number 1, Tracy McGrady.
I would expect to see that run for the rest of the game.
Well, Luther Head comes out, so it'll be T-Mac, Mike James, Bonzi Wells, Yao Ming, and Shane Battier here for the final 6:20. 71-67 Bobcats.
Let's go, Pats. Let's go, Pats.
Felton taking it inside, and it's tipped out to Richardson. Matt Carroll. Man, that guy is automatic. Another 3 for Matt Carroll. That's his 4th of the game. And a timeout taken by the Rockets. Take Matt Carroll out of this game, the Rockets will be up by 6. He's been hot.
Well, there's 6 minutes left in the fourth, and the Bobcats hold a big lead over the Rockets. Let's take a look at this Rockets post-up with Yao Ming inside. There's Yao, one of the few times in the game that the Bobcats have been playing behind him. Mike James is going to throw it in and then cut baseline. Now, as he cuts baseline, stop it right there. Mike James is going to cut all the way to the corner, but watch Jason Richardson come back and try to get in Yao's back pocket. Yao sees it right there, and there's the pass for an open look. Good job by Yao Ming to recognize where the double team was coming from and where the pass should go.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play. His recognition of that makes it work.
That's how when Yao's got the ball in the post, he's got to kind of look over his shoulder and see what's going on behind him, and that's difficult for a lot of players to do.
All right, the Rockets getting in a bit of a danger zone here. They don't want to fall too much more behind. 6 minutes left, and McGrady throws it away.
Turnover number 18 for the Rockets. If you couple 18 turnovers with 39% shooting, that's why the Bobcats hold this lead.
Rockets had moved up to number 9 in the NBA in turnovers, only 14 a game. They're way over that tonight. Okafor lost the ball. Here's Bonzi in the open court. Got Matt Carroll. Lays it off to McGrady. Beautiful play. Bonzi Wells to McGrady. 74-69 Bobcats.
Bonzi did an excellent job of running that fast break and creating an easy shot for T-Mac.
Matt Carroll loses his dribble. Good defense by T-Mac over to Felton. Felton falls down. 3 seconds down to 2. Richardson in and out, won't go. Bonzi with the rebound.
Jason Richardson 6 for 19 tonight. He's shooting the Bobcats out of this game.
Yao Ming with the Shanghai shake. Baseline. And Yao with 32 points.
Well, that's where the Rockets' bread is buttered tonight. Continue to go to him.
74-71, three-point game. Rockets need a few more stops. Gerald Wallace, tough shot. And deflected. Bonzi's got it and throws it right to Raymond Felton. God, man.
Frustrating, isn't it?
Crazy, just drives you crazy.
Rockets make a nice stop and then shoot themselves in the foot with another turnover.
Matt Carroll. Okafor.
Not only is that 2 points for the Bobcats, but it's 2 points the Rockets did not get on the fast break. 4-point swing right there.
McGrady, foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul is called on Emeka Okafor. That's 4 on Okafor.
T-Mac goes to the line for 2 critical free throws. Whenever you can score with the clock stopped, those are bonus points for you.
When you're coming from behind.
Yes.
And the game for Houston.
Tracy 17 points, and Mike James will come out. Rafer Alston will come in. So Mike goes out. He's 1 for 5. He did hit 1 3-pointer in the game. Short. 76-72, 4-point Bobcat lead. Under 4 minutes left to play. Richardson, good defense by Battier. Okafor's got it. 4 on the shot clock, down to 3. Felton blocked by Yao Ming. In the open court, T-Mac. T-Mac waiting for Yao to come over, set the pick. T-Mac rises up and hits. Tracy McGrady in clutch time. 76-74. The Bobcat lead is 2, and McGrady with 19. 3:12 and counting left to play in the game. It's all Raymond Felton right now as they've opened the court up. Okafor to set the pick. Four seconds, down to 3, down to 2. Richardson, tough shot, won't go. Bonzi goes in for the rebound, taken away by Wallace.
What a rebound by Gerald Wallace, coming over Bonzi's back.
And the foul is called on Yao Ming. We have a timeout on the court, 2:54 left to play in this game. Rockets down by 2. (76-74), Bobcats with the lead, and Rick Adelman a little upset. He thought that maybe Gerald Wallace had gone over the back of Bonzi Wells.
Well, and then what Gerald Wallace does is he jumps into Yao Ming, and they call the foul on Yao. Now, with that call, I don't know what you expect Yao to do. Yao has got to be able to occupy the space that he's in. Well, I mean, are you saying that he has to get out of the way? That's not basketball. So Yao Ming has got to be able to occupy the space he's in. If somebody jumps into him, that's not a foul on Yao. That's so frustrating for me and for Rick Adelman, because those calls continue to be made on Yao, and it's been a point of emphasis where defender is supposed to be able to occupy his own space without being called for a foul.
I think one of the keys tonight, Charlotte is next to last in free throw shooting in the NBA. They're one of the worst, and they're 11 for 12 in this game. So that is a key for Charlotte. Normally, they would have missed enough free throws to have the Rockets would have the lead here. 78-74, 4-point lead by the Bobcats. 2:42 left to play. Shot clock a factor now. It's at 5. McGrady's got it. Down to 4. Down to 3. Down to 2. McGrady to Yao, and he did not get it off in time. 24-second violation on the Rockets.
It'll be Bobcats ball.
Pretty nice play by T-Mac, just ran out of time.
Well, the Rockets now almost have to pitch a shutout. Carroll coming off a pick. Missed it finally. Matt Carroll has outscored the Rockets bench by 4 points, 17-13, but he missed that shot. And a foul on Carroll. That's only the third team foul on the Bobcats. The Rockets have 3.
Foul's called on Matt Carroll, number 13. This third.
That's not a good foul. With T-Mac with the ball right there, you don't want to reach in and foul him. Pretty easy call for the official to make.
And in the game is Charlotte Bobcats.
And now Matt Carroll.
Jared.
Vincent didn't like that matchup, so he's going to come now with Jared Dudley. Dudley will match up with Battier, and they'll go with Richardson on McGrady. McGrady gets around him, lays it up off the glass. What a move by T-Mac. Wow.
2 minutes left.
21 points for Tracy McGrady. 78-76 Bobcats. Richardson with the basketball. Richardson passes up the shot. Felton has to take it. It's going to be a 24-second violation. It misses everything.
Nice job.
The Rockets, with great defense, have a chance to tie the game or take the lead with a 3.
The Rockets switched on all those dribble handoffs on that play. Good job on the defensive end to really shut down the Bobcats. Now you got to take advantage of that and get a good shot on this possession.
Defense.
McGrady. Ball almost tipped out of his hands. Jason Richardson right up in McGrady's face. McGrady is fouled, and he'll shoot 2. Well, it's just so tough late in a game when it's close. Whose poison are you going to be forced to take? McGrady's or Yao Ming's? Yao has 32. McGrady with 21. Richardson has a tough chore here.
And T-Mac on the previous play hangs in the air.
Man.
A little reverse English on that reverse layup. Now 2 very important free throws Before T-Mac shot these, he was bent over grabbing his shorts like he's a little tired. No time to be tired now with 1:24 left.
Tracy ties it up at 78. And a timeout taken by the Bobcats. So the Rockets, down by as many as 10 points, have come roaring back. All right, now, Matt, the Rockets' defense has held them in good stead here tonight because they have played really a good defensive game. They haven't had much offense. Now let's see if they can get some stops.
On the previous defensive possession, the Rockets switched all the pick and rolls and all the dribble handoffs. I expect to see that again. Now, what Sam Vincent is doing in his extended 20-second timeout, you see, there they are still having a little timeout. He's still drawing up a play, but he's saying when they switch, he's trying to tell them what their counter is to all the Rockets switching. Now, look at the Rockets team. Those 4 guys you see right there can all switch. They're all basically the same size. The only person you don't switch with is Yao Ming.
Both teams have a timeout left. And Richardson will bring it in. 1:24 left to play. We're all tied at 78. Richardson has Battier on him. Matt Carroll back into the game for his shooting. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Richardson to the basket for 2. What a tough shot. Now get it up the court. Richardson fell down, but nope. Rafer's going to take his time. 1 minute left to play. McGrady turns the corner. Yes! And 1 for Tracy McGrady. Oh, what a big shot.
And again, the Rockets go to that side pick and roll. Dikembe loves it. The side pick and roll has been effective all game long, and as T-Mac comes off and goes down the lane, he draws the foul from Okafor, who was originally guarding Yao. He switched on to T-Mac, and T-Mac took it to the basket.
Yes, Tracy McGrady gives the Rockets the lead. They haven't had the lead in a long time. .47 seconds and counting. Richardson, nowhere to go, picked up his dribble. Felton gets a step on Austin, takes it inside on Yao. And a foul is called on Yao Ming.
And that's the play that we're talking about. Yao saying, hey, I'll go straight up in the air. I've got to be able to occupy that space. Let's look at it. Yao jumps. He goes straight up in the air. I don't know what you expect him to do.
Felton jumped right into him. Watch this. He just jumps right into Yao.
Yao jumps straight up. I have no idea what you expect him to do. You can't just give up a layup. You've got to be able to occupy that space.
Felton is an 80% free throw shooter. Game tied at 81. Got them both. And the Rockets will take a timeout. 38 seconds left to play. The Rockets will hand the basketball and a chance to regain that lead when we come back. .38 seconds left to play in the game. Charlotte leads by a point. Now, the Rockets do not have, they have 2 20s left. The Bobcats have 1 full. Tracy McGrady has scored the last 10 points for Houston, so is that where the ball's going, Matt?
Well, that side pick and roll again, T-Mac and Yao, that's been the most effective. Expect the Bobcats to play it differently coming out of this timeout. The Rockets are going to have to run it and see what they've got out of it, but T-Mac has been very effective. You got to put the ball in his hands.
All right, McGinnis will be right up on Battier.
There's T-Mac right there.
Rafer Alston will set the play in motion. Wallace is now guarding Tracy. Tracy turns the corner. Okafor has picked him up. He gets it right back. Now he's got Okafor on him. Wallace comes back outside. Sets it to Rafer Alston for the 3. Yao with a rebound, and he's fouled going to the basket. What a big offensive rebound by Yao Ming. And now he's looking at 2 free throws and a chance to give the Rockets the lead with 20 seconds left to play.
Now, after T-Mac came off this pick and roll, Okafor really did an excellent job of stopping him. Rafer with the 3. Yao Ming inside, had inside position because Okafor was scrambling to get back. So now Yao's got 2 huge free throws.
They're icing Yao Ming at the line. They're just standing around out there, sending players. McGinnis is crossed in front of Yao Ming 4 or 5 times. Look at him. Yeah, he's walking in front of him.
Yep. Sam Vincent's trying to get players in and out. Okafor fouled out on that play, so that Sam Vincent has 30 seconds to make a sub, trying to make sure he has the right players in for the right matchups.
Yao will have one more. Game tied at 82. And Yao gives the Rockets the lead, 83-82. Yao and T-Mac have scored the Rockets' last 16 points. Listen to Yao Ming, 13 of 15 from the field, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 34 points and 8 rebounds for the Great Wall. Wow, what a game.
And he basically was the entire team for most of the game. He really carried this team on his shoulders until the last 6 minutes of the 4th quarter when T-Mac came alive. T-Mac's got 26 points, so between Yao and T-Mac, huge games from those 2 guys. Now with 20 seconds left, the Bobcats have got a timeout. They're drawing up their play, and the Rockets have to figure out how they want to guard the Bobcats coming out of this timeout.
Tonight's Landry signature group Rockets player of the game, of course, is Yao Ming. I just gave you his line, 34 points, 8 rebounds, a perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line, and he's chipped in for 4 assists and a couple of blocks. Now, Matt, as I said earlier, they are not a good free throw shooting team. Only Miami is worse, and that's because of Shaq. Any team Shaq's on is going to be the worst free throw shooting team. Everybody but Raymond Felton. Felton is 80%.
Well, you say that, but they are 14 for 15 from the line tonight.
That's what I mean. And Matt Carroll is a 90% free throw shooter.
Well, you definitely don't want to foul in this situation.
Yeah.
You don't want to give them a chance to score without the clock moving. Now they're down by 2, so Charlotte doesn't need a 3-point shot. They're just going to try to get the best shot they can.
They're down by 1.
Yeah, they're down by 1, so all they need is 2 points. That's good. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that. They don't need a 3-point shot.
All right, Hollins will come out along with Richardson, Gerald Wallace, Matt Carroll, and Raymond Felton.
Now look at the lineup the Rockets have on the court. Yao is out, so all of these guys on the court are going to switch. They don't need to run through these picks that are being set. Every one of these guys can switch. The downside is you've got to rebound the ball.
Yes. All right, Battier will come out on Richardson. Bonzi Wells will be on Wallace. Alston is matched up with Felton. Here we go. Final 18 seconds. Going for the final shot. 9 seconds. Wallace picked up by McGrady. 7 seconds. Down to 6. Down to 5. Wallace. And an offensive foul on Gerald Wallace. Oh, what a play by McGrady.
T-Mac just set himself and played the best defense I've seen him play all season. He looks at the shot clock right there. He knows he has 7 seconds left, and he stays in front of Gerald Wallace. Gerald Wallace clears him out with the left hand. You see T-Mac is pumped up. I love to see T-Mac taking the challenge on the defensive end.
And Rick Adelman calls a 20-second timeout. So 3.5 left. Now, if you're Charlotte, you have got to foul right away.
Now see, Bonzi's got a cramp in his right calf. The most important thing for the Rockets now is get the ball in. Excellent job by Rick Adelman to call that timeout, to settle his team down, to make sure they've got a play to get the ball in.
Now, you want Yao back in the game. He's your best free throw shooter.
And what a luxury to have. You're a 7'6" center. Throw the ball up to him. Let him go get it like a rebound. They foul him. He goes to the line. It's an automatic 2.
Battier will bring the ball in as he always does. Yao's a good man to have in there who can go get the ball, as Matt said. McGrady, Mike James, and Rafer Alston. 3.5 seconds left to play. Rockets lead by a point. Mike James is fouled by Gerald Wallace with 2.3 left to play. Now, Mike's struggled from the free throw line this season, uncharacteristically. Mike only 70%. He's brought that up. He missed his first 4 this season in LA. So 2 crucial free throws for Mike James.
Yeah, so he started 0 for 4, so that means he's, 17 for...
And this one will be big because it will make it a 3-point game, so that the worst you can do is get a tie out of it. Do they have any timeouts left?
That's a good question. The scoreboard says 0.
Yeah, they're out of timeouts.
So that means you want to make this. You don't want to give them a chance. But you may, if you make this free throw, you may think about, if they get down on the other end of the court, to foul them. We'll see what the Rockets do.
Yes, Mike James with 2 crucial free throws. McGinnis, steal by Battier. He saves it, and that's the game. What a comeback by the Houston Rockets. They trailed for most of the game. And they got a huge performance from Yao Ming. 34 points, 8 rebounds, and a clutch performance by Houston. The Rockets pull this one out 85-82. Stay tuned after the break. We'll have the Rockets post-game report. Don't go away. Great comeback win for the Houston Rockets. They almost did pitch a shutout in the final 2 minutes to win this game 85-82. Tracy McGrady with some big baskets down the stretch. He and Yao Ming making the big plays, and Yao with 34 points, a season high tonight. But this was a game that until about 4 minutes left in the game, Matt, it didn't look like the Rockets could win it.
It was an ugly game, and I'll tell you what, a win is a win. And the Rockets will take it any way they can, but the Bobcats got started when Gerald Wallace finishes on a layup, and T-Mac goes backdoor for the dunk. The first quarter of the game, Yao really struggled to get the ball, and T-Mac had 10 points in that first quarter. Now the Bobcats came back with the fast break points. The Bobcats had 14 points on the fast break. Then the Rockets found that side pick and roll, and T-Mac was starting to feed Yao Ming. Now in the second half, there it is again. T-Mac to Yao. T-Mac ends up with 4 assists, all 4 of them to Yao, and T-Mac there with the putback with 8 rebounds. Bobcats stay in this game. They build a lead. They actually led by 10 points in this game, and Matt Carroll was a big part of that, knocking down 3-point shot after 3-point shot. He ended up with 17 points. Yao Ming again inside was too big of a load for the Bobcats. Yao just kept his poise, kept knocking down shots. 13 for 15, and T-Mac here with a nice reverse layup. So smooth. Jason Richardson knocks down a tough drive there. He had a tough game, but ended up with 16. And T-Mac, the and one down the stretch that really got the momentum going for the Rockets. And here's the last play of the game for the Bobcats. Offensive foul, good defensive play there for T-Mac. You see he's excited about that, and the Rockets come out of this with an 85-82 win.
Well, it was a great job, no doubt about it, as T-Mac had the big shots down the stretch. Yeah, come on around. Tracy McGrady's coming out to talk to us, and so I'm doing a little directing here.
Yeah, why don't you do a little directing while we're working on this.
Let me move over as we can, and T-Mac will come get in the middle of us. Sit down, Tracy.
A little headset there for you.
Boy, I'll tell you, of all your offensive exploits down through the years, that defensive stop on Jason Richardson, Gerald Wallace may have been as big as they come.
Hey, man.
I didn't know you could play defense like that.
I didn't know either.
I saw you looked at the shot clock when you were one-on-one with him at the top of the key.
Yeah.
You wanted to see how much time you had left.
Absolutely. I wanted to see if I could put pressure on him and make him force a shot that he didn't really want to take. So it worked out into our favor. He pushed off offensive foul, and it was just a good defensive sequence that last possession.
And you got me on some highlight reels, too, because that scissor layup that you made when you went from one side of the basket to the other, I came out of my seat. I almost hung myself right here on.
I don't want you to do that, Bill.
Not a pretty sight when he does that.
Well, I'm telling you, though, that was you hung in the air. You showed me something there.
Well, you know, I was struggling in the first half. Well, not really struggling. I only took, 10 shots.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get the big fella going because they was doing a great job of fronting him. And, you know, I wanted to sacrifice a little bit and get him going. And, you know, I got a couple easy baskets in the second half, and I wanted to get myself rolling. I felt like my team really needed me in that second half, especially in the fourth quarter. And, you know, they told me to take us home, and that's exactly what I did.
There's that shot right there. Boy, that was something to see. And they were running at you. That was a big and one there.
It was. I think that put us up one right there, and then we didn't look back, you know. It's just, you know, it's just all will, man. This was a game that, you know, we felt like it could have really got away from us because we didn't play extremely well. But, you know, I think it showed how great we are because, you know, we didn't play particularly well, and we came out with the win.
Yeah, I agree with that. You really struggled trying to find what was working, and really the side pick and roll with you and Yao was the only thing that was working all game. Tell us about that.
Well, I was just, you know, just really looking over the game and seeing what kind of openings I could get to get myself going and get Yao going as well, to get his man off his body. Like I said, they were doing a great job of fronting him. So, you know, I wanted to call him out for a side pick and roll. They were either going to trap me and leave him open, or I was going to come off and get to the basket and draw attention and get him easy baskets. And it worked out. You know, I got to the basket, dished it off to him a couple times, and, you know, they had to honor that. So it opened up a lot more things.
Boy, the big fella, he only missed 2 shots tonight. Every time you went to him, he was putting it in.
Absolutely. I didn't realize he was 7 for 7 in the first half, and I thought he didn't get that many shots, but he was perfect from the field. You know, he carried us in the first 3 quarters, and then, you know, it was just a group effort from that point on.
How are you feeling? How's your health? Are you okay? Or
I feel great. I feel light. You know, I feel young again.
Yeah, well, you keep winning. Of course you feel young again. And of course, the Rockets find a way to pull it out. And that's the difference. And winning on the other people's court, winning on the road in the NBA is not easy.
It really is not. You know, you got the crowd against you, and these guys feel most comfortable playing inside their building. And they had it rolling tonight. Those guys are playing extremely well. More importantly, they played hard.
Yeah.
They played hard for 48 minutes. They made us work. But, you know, we being who we are, I think it just goes to show, man, if we can, you know, keep our heads in the game and don't let up, anything is possible, and we showed that tonight. And, you know, I just waiting for us to click on all cylinders.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. But I'll tell you what, yeah, you've got it when you need it. Same old T-Mac. I love to see it.
Hey, thank you.
All right, Tracy McGrady getting it done down the stretch. Rockets pulling this one out. Thanks, Mac. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Well, everybody's left the arena since Matt Bullard had an attack, and it's 85-82. The Rockets pull this one out, and the road trip will continue in Memphis coming up. That will be Tuesday night, and that's a little bit of what happened. Memphis, good athletic team, Matt.
There you see the game's at 6:30. The pregame shows at 6:30 off on FSN Houston. And last season against the Grizzlies, T-Mac and Yao had a lot of success.
Well, once again, the final score, the Rockets 85, the Bobcats 82. Be sure to join us for our next telecast Tuesday night from Memphis as the Rockets take on the Grizzlies. Coverage begins at 6:30 on FSN Houston. Stay tuned. Coming up at 8 on My 20, Hollywood Homicide, starring Harrison Ford. For Matt Bullard, I'm Bill Worrell. Thanks for watching, everybody.